It's June 1st, and I've just sent in my final report for the Canada Council grant that I received for my collection of short stories. I intend to do the final report for the Ontario Arts Council grant in the morning, so I can have those out of the way and not pressing on my mind while I start on my next project, which is a novella, which right now is called Bookio. So I don't really have a title for it. I've tried out a couple things. Nothing's really sticking, so Bookio it is. And I don't really have a plan. I thought of planning things out meticulously and having different passes that I was going to do on the book. It's a fairly large manuscript, especially by my standards. I usually write flash fiction, so this is around 200 pages. No, 117 printed pages, but obviously that's not like paperback pages. So instead of having a meticulous plan and being very detailed about passes and things, this is really new territory for me. I've never revised something that's this long before, and I want to just have as few barriers as possible. I try to keep my goals very simple. That way I can accomplish them and then go beyond that. And with that in mind, with that philosophy in mind, I think what I'll do is take the manuscript in chunks and make notes on the manuscript like I normally do with a short story. I have a fountain pen that I like to use, and I'll be using green ink so it contrasts with the black, but it's not nothing too fancy, so it's not distracting either. It's easy to see. So once I'm finished with making my notes on the draft in green ink, then I will copy any sort of global issues that I need to address into my writing notebook. And this will be, I tend to revise my stories without taking into account like the really granular issues when I do the first couple of passes. So I don't look at the sentence by sentence flow or anything like that until a later pass. Since this is the first pass I'm doing on it, then it's more like, does this make sense? Are the structures that I put in place, the skeleton of the story, is it holding up? Is there something that I'm not expressing that needs to be there? That's one of the main issues that I have in the first pass. So I usually will have a first reader look at it, and they'll be able to tell me, like, I wasn't really sure what was happening here, or there was some sort of a puzzle piece missing in the plot. And so that's what I'll be looking for, like really big issues that are not working right. And every time my writing comes back, people say it's beautiful, but I don't initially go through and look for phrases and metaphor and things like that, imagery, until much later. So, plan, take a chunk of the manuscript, make my notes on the manuscript, and then if there are those bigger issues, like, for example, if something isn't really making sense, that I included an element that is too jarring or it's not set up properly, then that'll go in the notebook. If I find that the characters are not fleshed out, that will also be something to go in the notebook. So things that will kind of transcend the chapter level of things. Those are the things that I want to note in the book, and the rest can stay. I can make some editorial changes in the first pass, like omitting sections or saying that there needs to be more here and things like that. So I'll just make those as quick marks and not slow myself down by stopping and redrafting. And I'll be using this to actually do the revising part, because I can store a little section of the manuscript inside here, and since I can only store so much at a time, it helps me to keep things focused and not overwhelming. Because one of the issues that I have is with getting overwhelmed by things. I throw myself into the deep end and I'm too detailed about things. So if I have this full manuscript in my lap, it'll seem like it's too big of a task to address all of the changes that need to be made. So that's it for June 1st. I hope to check in a little bit throughout the week, just for a few minutes here and there, and let you know how things are going with the Bookio project. Project Bookio. I just call it Bookio. And I don't think there's anything else that I need to say. Yeah. Go watch my other videos. There you go. Good night.